Good evening, Row Nation. Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Would you believe it? This is actually my 100th video for the channel. Now, up to now I've only released 98 videos. I did do another video that I hadn't put up on the channel. But it's crazy to think this is actually my 100th video that I'm recording. So I just wanted to say thank you all so much for your support so far. Closing in on 900 subscriptions already as well, which is brilliant. Channel's only been running a couple of months, and I've also had nearly 5,000 different separate people viewing the channel since it began. So that's absolutely fantastic. I just want to say a big thank you to all of you. Today we are going to continue with our hero guides, and last time out we were looking at S2 Beast Queen, which means that we have finally made it to the S3 heroes, guys. We're finally making our way through. First one that we're going to look at is Bleeding Steed. So let's go straight in and have a look at him. Bleeding Steed is a footman hero. He is a support hero. As usual, the developers have said that as a support hero, he can lead on the middle of back row squads. And once again, I will tell you that he is also very much suited for that front row. But one of the unique things about Bleeding Steed is that he is actually very usable on all three rows of your Footmen Legion. If you're looking to have a strong defensive Footmen Legion, he's your guy. Alright, so let's have a look at what his skills do, and as I say, where you're going to want to put him and things like that. So first off, of course, that first skill is Dictator, increasing the marching capacity of the troops in the squad. Not going to dwell on that any longer, so let's get straight into his second skill. Roundabout Tactics. It's a prep skill, so it will activate for sure, and unless the opponent has a hero that can actually stop prep skills. Effective range 2, and it's going to target 2 random friendly squads within effective range. So this is going to buff 2 of the squads out of the 3 in your formation. And for the first 3 turns, these 2 friendly squads are going to have bonus damage from 24% up to 60% bonus damage. You can see I actually do have Bleeding Steed. I'm still working on my first duplicate for him. I only got him in my S4 rewards as an S3 pick. I missed out on him from during S3 in my rewards. I got 5 cavalry heroes. But I'm working on him now, and the reason I am working on him for fragments is he is very key, real key footman hero that you're going to want to use, guys, for sure. So that first skill, guaranteed on the first 3 turns, 2 friendly squads, 60% bonus damage. So again, that's giving you a real big buff at the start of the battle to do damage to your opponent, okay? Third and fourth skills, of course, defensive formation. This is going to give you up to the usual 50% resistance, and skill 4 with the leadership skill, offensive formation for just your hero squad, is going to give you the extra 5 to 50% might on the damage that your troops are going to do to your opponent. On to skill 5, the second of his specific skills, Stampeding Harass. Combat skill, effective range target is 4. Now, okay, I did just say that he can be used on any row, and he still can. Even if you put him on the back row, the only downside would be that this skill would only activate on the front row of your opponent, I think. No, I'm lying. No, it would activate on the front and middle row. So, you know, literally the only downside of putting him on the back row is that this specific skill would not target the back row of your opponent. But otherwise, it's going to hit either all 3 or the front 2, wherever you put him. Just affects, well, still a good skill because it affects 2 of the 3 enemy squads that you're up against, and it does require 1 turn of prep, and there's then only between a 23% chance at level 1 up to a 50% chance at level 10. So you've got a good chance of this activating a couple of times in the battle to confuse 2 random enemy squads within range. both their skills, so that's the hero skills, and basic attack targets become random, lasting 2 turns. Why is this beneficial? Well, as we all know, usually your troops on your front row are going to get attacked and the most, because a lot of the opponent's skills are going to be targeted to them or affect them more regularly than your other 2 squads, your mid row and back row. So actually this skill is kind of deflecting some of the damage. It has the ability to deflect some of the damage away from your front row, potentially, not guaranteed, I know, but and it lasts 2 turns each time it's activated. You've got a 50% chance, so there's a high chance that this skill could activate and definitely be it playing its part for at least half the battle for about 4 turns, possibly more. And as I say, you're kind of deflecting some of the damage away from your front row, so there's less chance of it collapsing, which can be is often a key indicator on your way to losing a battle. So that's why this skill, in my opinion, it's a good skill. As I say, you're kind of shedding, you're splitting the damage. You're more likely to split the damage across all 3 rows of your own troops. Skill 6, of course, is Awaken. It's got the usual 250% bonus to leadership skills once you've maxed it out at level 10. And then look at this in terms of the other buffs. Plus 15% resistance, plus 15% HP. This is why you know that Bleeding Steed is a really pure support hero, because he's got this extra HP buff in his 6th skill as well. That's going to increase the health points of your troops. They can take more damage because of that. And on to skill 7. Again, this is another indicator. Quite often you'll see me showing this skill is usually a might buff, but for Bleeding Steed, if you have him in your legion, then he's going to give defensive order footmen. He's going to give between 13% and 40% resistance against damage. So this is going to mean that your troops in all 3 of your squads in your legion are going to be able to take more damage. They're going to last longer. Okay, so this is why he's a really good support hero. Lastly, skill 8, Nomadic Remedy, another prep skill, and effective range is 2, but it targets all 3 of your random friendly squads within effective range. So all 3 random friendly squads every time. That's fantastic. And during the battle, when all friendly squads receive damage, there's a 50% chance to recover between 15% up to a maximum of 33% of your troops. So this is the first time I've shown you one of these skills in the guides, guys. So with Bleeding Steed, he is a healer. So if during the battle, after every turn, you've got a 50% chance of this skill activating, and if you max it out, you will recover 33% of the troops that you might have just lost, or 33% of the damage that they've just had impacted on them. They're going to heal 33% of that amount. Which is, absolutely key. Up until this point, every other hero you've had in your formations, when you get damaged, your troops get damaged, that's it. You can't. They will not heal themselves once you run down those health points, and they've taken all that damage that they've received, and they reach 0. Then you're going to collapse, and there's a high potential for you to lose the battle. If you have Bleeding Steed in your formation, your troops are going to survive longer, for sure, and it affects all of the troops in your formation, and that is why he is such a good hero. When you combine all of the elements of the skills that I've just talked about, he is just giving everything that you want in a support hero, in my mind. So absolutely key, really good footman hero. He's endgame. I think he's present in 4 of the top 5 footmen combinations. That's how good he is. So an S3 hero is going to be mixing it with the SXs for footmen. He's that good, all right? So, I usually talk about longevity with Bleeding Steed. Well, if you get Bleeding Steed, you're never going to get rid of him. He's that good. He's endgame, all right? And let's talk about combinations now. Uh, well, I guess if you want to kind of have a well balanced Footman Legion, then potentially you might go, for instance, Steed front row, and then like a Jade Rakshasa Iron Hand combination, because Iron Hand's got good kills. If you want to go more defensive, you can go with Peacebringer on the front, and then maybe even a Jade, and you could even put Bleeding Steed on the back, and that would be extremely defensive. So you might want to just have a look at the options there, depending on what you want to do with your footmen. Once you're through, so Bleeding Steed is the only footman hero at S3. Now, once we get into S4, you'll find that he will be part of, again, the next meta combo at S4 stage, which is where you would combine him with both the S4 footman hero, Mr. Soaring Hawk, and Desert Storm here. And then even after that, as I say, the kind of key interesting thing with Bleeding Steed is that he will still fit in and be part of most meta footman hero combos all the way through as you get access to the SX1, SX2, SX3, SX4 heroes as we go through the game and you go through up to Eden. So that is Bleeding Steed, guys. A real special hero for my 100th video. He's definitely worth trying to get. S3 is difficult. Like if you don't have a lot of tickets, there's some good heroes in S3, like Rosenblade as well, as we're going to look at next. Is a real key hero for you. But yeah, Bleeding Steed, as I say, definite. After the Immortal, I'd say, out of all the heroes that I've reviewed so far, he is, along with the Immortal so far, he's like a key hero that you want to focus on and you want to try and get and develop. So as soon as you get to Season 3, guys, start collecting fragments for him. I've been collecting fragments for him for ages. Like the whole season of Eden, I was collecting fragments. How much am I up to for now? 165. They've been coming out in dribs and drabs. It's been dire, I tell you. So I can't wait to get him awakened and then potentially, obviously, unlock that awesome ape skill, which is giving the recovery, the healing, and you'll see healing in your battle reports. I do have another healer already, Army Breaker. He does have a healing skill. If I can find it. Yeah, there we go. His second skill actually is a healing skill. So you'll know if you've got a healer in your formation because you'll see the healing in your battle reports. You would see a line which says healing on it. So that's how you know. So that's everything about Bleeding Steed. Just a quick one as well. Like, I've got my Red Dragon up to level 40. Yay. So what's that done? Well, I've got Dragon Breath skill unlocked, and that is increased my gold production by 4%. So that's not bad. And then I'm now going to be working towards the level 50, which is the construction resource cost reduction, and also the construction speed. It reduces that as well. Something else to note about the dragon reaching level 40. So if we go into the explore section, the rewards now for completing this main reward section, I get 2 of the dragon chests instead of 1. And I think it was 180,000 gold before, now it's 240,000 gold. And also some of these daily quests, before obviously you get stuff like this, a 12-hour bonus defense and things. And now I'm finding that if we just go into the store, it doesn't really have it, but like I'm getting some of these, I'm getting material chests in those rewards as well, which is quite good. They're not a lot of them are rare materials, but you get 2, or some of them have 3 chests, so you've got a chance of getting rare materials. I think I got 3 wolf hides earlier today from one of them, so that's pretty cool, and just interesting to see that, like, as you develop through those stages on the dragon altar with your dragon, you will get improved rewards, particularly when those some of these daily explores are 100% guaranteed every day. That's pretty interesting. So there we go, guys. All right, well, that's everything for this video on Bleeding Steed. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it informative as usual. Obviously, Heroes is always a complete minefield about trying to work out who you want to unlock and whatever. Oh, one thing I didn't cover. So Bleeding Steed, definitely, I know he's got that awesome healing skill as his 8th skill. But if you are going to put him on your front row, you're going to want to unlock that 6th skill first, guys. All right. I always suggest for your defensive front row support heroes, you've got to unlock this 6th skill first to get your troops up to maximum. If you were potentially using him further back, you might think about using this 8th skill first, just because it's so key in terms of the fact that it's got this recovery rate, this healing element to it. But generally, most people will unlock his 6th skill first, then the 8th skill, then the 7th skill in that order, okay? And as I say, if you're putting in front row, definitely 6th skill first. And that is definitely everything about Bleeding Steed. Thank you so much for watching. Over the weekend, I'm going to try and get some extra videos recorded and then out next week. I know I'm getting quite a few requests for various things on the channel, so I'm taking note of that, and I'll do my best to release those when I can, get those out to you guys, and while of course still going on with my hero guide and various other bits we've got going on. So there you go. Thanks very much for watching. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, ring that bell, share my channel in your Alliance chat, Province chat, through any Imperial messages you may wish to send, and of course on Discord, Line app, WhatsApp, whatever you use to communicate amongst your Alliance. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And if you have any comments about this video or anything else that I've talked about, please do pop them in the comment section below. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great Friday night. Enjoy your weekends, and I'll see you soon.